Monday night, 15 June, two countries clashed. Eastern Ladakh, Galwan Valley, India and China. People were killed. Soldiers lost their lives. 20 Indian soldiers lost their lives. 76 were injured. 43 Chinese soldiers were killed. It's sad. It's sad. And right now, this border war has turned into a trade war, India-China trade war, and we need to understand multiple aspects. Whatever be the result, with respect to countries' protection and sovereignty, yeah, it does make sense to protect the country and to do whatever is possible. But then bringing things from this point to that point, it really doesn't make any sense. Because just an example with India, many times it happens we see like someone from Pakistan bombs or terrorists does anything or kill some soldiers, and then people start banning the entertainers, the celebrities from Pakistan, saying that just go back and go back to your country. I just don't understand. If someone who has committed the crime, he or she must be punished behind who was responsible behind that sin. So it's the terrorists, you must kill them, you must punish them, whatever is necessary, you must do that, because you must take the revenge of the people who lost their lives. But on the flip side, the people who are entertainers, the celebrities whose songs we were listening, whose dance we were seeing, or whose narration we were watching, or anything else, the people who come, or writers whose books we were reading, just to ban them. Because there is a difference between terrorists and the civilians. You cannot like taking revenge from the terrorists, taking revenge from the people. No, civilians have done nothing. We need to understand. Just like you and me, they have come here with the visa and they are working hard, they are paying the taxes, and that's why. So just turning that thing into this thing, like terrorist into civilians, banning the civilians, the celebrities from this country, that country, whatever country may be, not just Pakistan. So it's not right. Okay, we need to take sport as a sport, entertainment as entertainment, business as business. So all these things are political. Let me tell you, all these things are political. Believe it or not, there are very high level talks going on, which you and me won't be able to even think or predict. No one knows. And in between, who pays the price? It's like you and me, people like you and me. Talking about note ban happened, but whom it helped? It helped the upper class people, the Ambanis, the Tatas, the Birlas, and you and me, the people who are having small businesses. It was just shut because they cannot take the pain of standing in the market, paying the rent and the expenses and all those stuffs, and still standing in the market till 1 year. Even for 6 months, it is tough, and that's why it is not at all right when it comes to these decisions. Now, imagine if India and China are entering into a war. Let's take a look at the stats. First of all, it is not right to mix the wars. Like border wars must be border wars and not trade wars. Number one. Second is China is the biggest country in the world with respect to population, and China in the 1960s revolution, from that they have grown, they have grown, phenomenally, at a massive rate. And we accept or not, China has built its strength, be it military, be it financially, be it anything else, be it economic strength or their people strength, whatever may be, they have built that. And so is the case with India also. India has also earned its respect, its value, its position in the international market that India has right now. But right now, China's GDP is just behind the US. US is like 21 trillion US dollars, and China's GDP is 14.4 trillion dollars US dollars. And India's GDP is something around like 2.94 trillion US dollars, which means China's GDP is 5 times India's GDP. And per capita, GDP per capita, one person, it is like one person. If I'm not wrong, China's is 10,099 US dollars per capita, and India is around 3,000 US dollars. So you can see, what's the difference. And not just this. People have said that India's GDP is into negative, going on. I don't know if the finance minister Subramaniam, the former finance minister, I guess, Mr. Subramaniam, he was saying with respect to the India's GDP, India is a very in a very weak financial state. The economy is just going, is nose diving. So India is in a very tough state, and India is not in a very strong position. China can last long. Okay, China can last long. India, I don't know, compared to China, it can. We can survive till 12 months, but then more than that, it is a bit difficult. Now, let's take a look at multiple factors that how much China is importing from India and how much India is importing from China, and with respect to the export also. Now, we are saying that we will ban China and Chinese products. I will come to the importance of Chinese products that we are buying later on, but right now we are just talking about India and China imports and exports. So first of all, let me talk about India, how much India is importing from China and how much India is exporting to China. So the Indian imports, first of all, it is export. Let's take export first. 5%. Okay, India's exports to China is 5%, and India's imports from China is 14%. And I don't have fingers also. 14%. And you know what China's imports and exports are? China's export to India is 3% of the total exports, and China's imports from India is just 1%. Imagine if a trade war happens, what India will lose will be much, much, much higher than what China will lose. China will just lose some market, and China can find another market. China has the creativity, believe it or not. Because why India? We are saying that Chinese products are, they are spoiling the economy, this, that. The truth is, why India started trade with China? Because there were some benefits. Why the people start buying Chinese products? Because there were some benefits. Why right now I am buying Chinese products? I'm using this Chinese phone because it has some benefits. Similarly, wherever there are benefits, there is trade. I'm benefiting from you, you are benefiting from me. Yeah, fair enough. So in this transaction between countries, people are getting benefited, and country is all about people. So China is just exporting 3% and 1% importing, and right now India is much higher. And the trade deficit is like when your export is, when your import is more than your export, and India is importing it in transactions with multiple countries: US, UK, Germany, France, or Japan, all these countries, and where imports are more than exports. So if we are talking about trade deficit, which is like the import is more in case of China, so it is more in case of other countries also. Why we are just sidelining China? Because again, if you are mixing for political reason, it is not good. And in this also, if someone is going to be crushed, it will be people like you and me, the poor people. Okay, so this was with respect to the imports and exports. Now let's dive a bit deep. We are talking about we banning the products. What if the Chinese people, the Chinese government, Xi Jinping also do the same? If he bans all the private investments of Indian private investment, any investment going via India, he is just banning it. How much it will hurt the economy? How much inflation will go up? Do you know how many Chinese companies have their hubs in India? Do you know how many Indian people are working in Chinese companies, and we are getting paid fairly, nicely? We are taking care of our family. Understand the reality. Just don't go. Follow the media or the government. All these bullshit things. It's a huge and a big conspiracy. This COVID-19 stuff also, which is going on. Initially it was saying like the mild and mild and average cases can be treated from the HCl, hydroxychloroquine, and right now Glenmark Pharmaceuticals has made a new drug which is for mild and average cases. So if the malarial drug was working for mild average cases, why is this new thing? People are saying it is like to increase the shares of the pharmaceutical companies. Maybe not, but it is not for us to go and research, because we will be just lost. And that's why the moral of the story is these trade wars are not at all good. The trade wars was good for China and good for India. We both were being benefited. We both were growing. You cannot say that only China was growing, and then blaming the government is still okay. Yeah, they're doing wrong, but blaming the people, hating the people is not right. The people who are working, in China, they are just like you and me. They have a family. They have to take care of the family. They are working hard, and believe it or not, Indians are creative, hardworking, but small portion. The majority portion is lazy. It's lazy. I have an experience. I can say, we are not that much creative. Whenever we go for a job, when we start a career, what we look for? Money. If you will not increase my salary, I'll leave the job. From a certain perspective it is okay, but then when you think long term, what is the driving factor? Why are you working for not what you love, your passion? You don't do for those things. Right now I'm recording this video, I'm sending this. Right now I'm not getting paid, no money, but why am I doing? Because it makes me happy. And if I'm doing this consistently, I will get better and better and better, and after a certain period of time people will start coming to me. And so is the case with everyone. So Indian people must start thinking creatively. They must start working hard. Then India could be really great. Then we can say, okay, from which country we can buy and we cannot. And if both the people are benefiting, then what is the loss? Where is the loss? That's why I would say we must not look at the border issues from the trade perspective. And not at all from the people's perspective, because people are always good. The common people, you and me and Chinese people, nothing different, And the biggest question is to the government. Like if we go a bit deep, the activities that are happening in the valley from this side, that side, we have like radar, we have like drones, we have like intelligence bureaus and people and all those things. Why was the news not given? And the people come in, then the clash happens and all these things happen. Like we won't be able to understand these things. It's difficult. That's why do not get into that stuff. The people at the high level are taking care of this. Let them take their way. Let them take the things their way. And that's why trade war is not good. And last but not the least, I will tell you, ask you a few questions. If I stop buying the Chinese products, if I buy Indian products, if I buy Japanese products, if I buy French products, will those products will give the same quality at the same price? That is the biggest question to all the people who are watching this video. The government, everything. Because the government or the people who are saying that boycott Chinese products are not going to increase my salary. My hard work will increase the salary, and the inflation will keep on rising. So if I'm going to pay for something which is not Chinese, the same product, the same quality, which is like 10 rupees more, why the hell would I pay? Why the hell should I pay? My salary will increase with my hard work, and it's all about hard work, business. Then why are you doing these things? It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. And let me ask you, like, are you going to, if you are boycotting China, would you boycott everything? Apple phones are being manufactured in China. Apple is saying that it is not easy to remove everything from China. It is not easy, because both the parties are being benefited. This phone is of China, and I will show you this racket. You see this racket? I bought it for $150. If the Indian government is able to, if the Indian market is able to give me 150 rupees, the same product, I will buy from India. But if not, I don't care which country it is, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, I don't care. I want it to be quality. The product must be quality. Product price must be nice, and it must be durable. If China is able to give me, I will buy from China. Because at the end of the day, all what matters too is how much money I am able to save in my bank account, in my pocket. So that is the great deal. It will always win. These shits that are going on are not good for the people, are not good for the consumers, are not good for you and me. The people who are saying this boycott shit, boycott shit, will they leave everything from China? There are so many things from China. You cannot, and all these things which is going on, it will end after some time. Believe me, it will end. I'm pretty much sure. Let's see how it goes, but I have a strong feeling that it will end. And at the end, if someone will lose, it will be you and me. So let's start thinking practically and not get into the trap of this political show off. Our country, we will kill this, kill that. Hell, man, killing is not good. Peace, maintain peace. That's why we must always try to look things from a very different perspective and have our own views. Okay, have our own views and not just be a sheep. Be a sheep and follow the other people. Till next time. Before going to next time, I would say I would be really happy to know about your views, your thoughts, your feedback. Really appreciate. Please do let me know. All these things are my views. I don't impose, but then these are my views. SpeakUp Arena's views. And if you have anything, please do let me know. Till next time, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.